how on earth can you fix it? Because obviously you're older than me, but like in our lifetime, the ACC it's been it. It's been the college basketball conference. People have tried to put the Big Ten on this pedestal for years, and then yet they haven't had a national champion in over 2 decades. But the ACC, it is the college basketball conference, in my opinion. Yet this is disgusting what I watch night in and night out on the CW.
Yeah. The CW. It's bad. I mean, this season has not been great. It's been bad. There's no cute way to put that. It's been bad. But it's kind of what I said earlier, that it's just it's NIL era. Everything's year to year. Yes, the ACC is really bad this year, but NC State played in the Final Four last year as a Cinderella team. They knocked off Duke in the Elite Eight. UNC was a 1 seed last year, and they lost to Alabama. So, like, they were pretty good. And 2 years ago, Miami went to the Final Four. And so it just shows you how the NIL era is so year to year. And, like, Pat Kelsey took over the worst program in the ACC, the doormat of the ACC for 2 years, and now he's front-runner ACC Coach of the Year because he used his portal, he used his, like, funding. He struck gold and got Louisville from the ground to they're respectable again. And I think that shows you what can happen, that it doesn't need to be a 3-year plan for the ACC to get up and grow. Next year, they could be okay back to the old ACC because, look, FSU, Leonard's retiring, Larinaga retired in Miami. I don't know if they're going to do it at Virginia with Tony Bennett leaving. I don't know if they're going to keep it to Ron Sanchez. But if FSU and Miami's head coaches come in and do what Pat Kelsey did in year one, then all of a sudden we're a competitive league. And Carmelo's son's going to Syracuse next year. So there's going to be dudes in the league. It's just, can they win? Can they care? Can they care enough to win? Like the Kansas thing. You can put it on paper and it can look great, but when you roll the ball out, can they play with the effort that needs to be the standard in the ACC?
And with all this NIL money getting thrown around, it goes 2 different ways because you see what's going on in Miami. I mean, they had the coach retired mid-season because these dudes were just like, yeah, man, we're going to chill in Coral Gables and cash checks. We're absolutely chilling right now. We don't need to play basketball. But you're right. I think that's a great way to look at it where, look, next year there should be a lot of coaching turnover in the ACC with Virginia, Florida State, Miami, and then there's some other teams in there where you go, okay, maybe they need to make that jump. But I still think the majority of the ACC still has decent coaches. And at some point it becomes a talent problem where, like, I think Kyle Smith at Stanford, I think he's a great coach. I think Mark Madsen at Cal can be a solid coach. It's weird talking about these guys in the ACC, but whatever, different story. But Steve Forbes, I've made this joke 1,000 times. He's just Seth Greenberg. We have the old Virginia Tech Hokies again. They just reside in Winston-Salem, and they just gave him glasses, and he's the head coach of Wake Forest right now, Steve Forbes, because they are so due to lose another stinker at the end of this season and miss the NCAA tournament yet again.
Yeah, look, and I hate it for Steve Forbes. I love Steve Forbes, but you're right. Like, I mean, it's inexplicable that they should not be a bubble team with Hunter Silas returning. Like, this team should have taken that leap, and they struggled out of the gates scoring the ball, and they've been inconsistent. Their loss against Florida State was inexplicable, and now they're a bubble team. That should have never happened. But one team that is a dark horse for me for funding, we talked about like the Saudi Arabia funding, but was the team all along that people laughed at joining the ACC. And I told everybody since day one they're going to come in and make an impact is SMU. SMU was like, we're going to take no money. We will fund everything ourselves. And what did we see year one in football? And now year one in basketball, like, yes, they're an average ACC team. It started off pretty hot, but I think they're going to put even more money into football, which leads to basketball. And SMU is going to be a pretty good basketball program in a couple years.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Oh, and another coach that needs to go. They're playing right now. They're already down 20 to North Carolina. Kevin Keatts is out the door, man.
That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, Keatts, man. Look, they went to the Final Four last year, magical run. But you talk about roster construction, like just starting the guys from last year who are role players on last year's team and thinking they would beat something this year. That's not a great recipe for success. And you're seeing them lose by 20 to UNC. Just that's not good for old Keatts and NC State.
Do you think when he won that ACC title, he goes, man, I just won myself like 8 to 10 million bucks, and I don't care. And then when all the dudes are leaving after the season, I guarantee you he's sitting there just going, we'll just let it play out.
Well, it's easy to get content after you're on the hot seat for about 3 years, it felt like, and then you were contractually to safe for 2 years. Like,
Yep.
he was safe because he won the ACC based off his contract, and then he made the run to the Elite Eight. And like, it's so mind-boggling they made that run because they played 7 guys. One dude was DJ Burns, who was not in the best shape, and then their starting center was fasting through the whole March Madness run and wasn't eating or drinking at all. And you have those 2 guys out of your 7 playing 35 plus minutes, and you didn't miss a beat.